Uh, it's another episode of España, another instance of someone being in the bottom. Things seem to be going the same way over and over and over. And I'm excited to get into it. But hola, hola, hola! Welcome to The Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality. And you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan, where I say something gay. Gay, I've got my energy drink with me. I've got my cup bag. LanaGCreations.etsy.com. Link is in the description below. And that wonderful QR code. Let's get this going. Period.
And I'm RuPert, and I have no entrance line. I'm just drinking water today. And also, I'm showing off my brand new marmalade fan. Because she's certainly a queen who would have definitely been able to sell me an apartment.
Probably.
Definitely better than a few of these queens tried to.
But they did try. Hi, hello, it's Micha, your Persian correspondent, and I'm drinking an accidental overdose of a breakfast tea despite it's almost 6:30 here. Yeah, in the evening, not in the morning. But I'm very excited to talk about this because these queens, they could sell some things to somebody.
They at least tried.
And I loved it. Yeah.
They at least tried. And hey,
This episode was just chaos.
Yeah.
Chaos.
It really was. Not to be confused with Chaos from Canada's Drag Race Season 3, who we do love. But, it was just something mixed with something else. We'll get into it here. Before we do, make sure to subscribe if you've not already, because we're here almost all the time giving you almost all things drag. Make sure to check out everything we have going on. Subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when we put out all of our drag content. Share with all of your friends. Wrong franchise, I know, but I am holding on to that one for dear life. Make sure to check out everything we're doing across the Cup Network. All those links are in the description below. You can follow us on our socials at The Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. And if you want to follow the three of us, our links are down in the description as well. Make sure to check us out. But we come back in. De Nebula Mornau has been eliminated. We're sad. They're sad.
Also, Satin walking into the workroom singing the funeral march as well was hilarious.
Yeah, that was impressive.
Just wild times. Wild times here.
Big TV.
But yes. And we move pretty quickly into the next day in the workroom where
Ferrxn is annoyed, calling herself Hornella. And then also Laca also reveals what she had underneath if she was ready to lip sync.
Mm-hmm.
And that just reminded me of the Silky Nutmeg Ganache for no reason in Untucked. If I had to lip sync for my life today, I was motherfucking ready.
I love this to do so. I love when somebody said at this very moment, "Come on, Marisa Prisa." That was a very surprising call back to season 2. Yeah,
not the Marisa Prisa. I can't. Too much.
Also, her saying in confessional, "Of course, I'm wearing old-fashioned bloomers, not instead of a thong like a weirdo." Something like
Loved it.
Love Laca.
Oh, absolutely. But yes, we come into the workroom the next day. The girls are talking, and
they also, sorry, one more thing. It's just they walk in carrying with De Nebula's masks and Nyx playing her violin from the Tool Runway as well, which was really cute. The España girls just know how to have like a fun time, just doing the little walking into the workroom bits.
Exactly. Just have a good funeral procession at least, with a march, a mask, and the violin.
Definitely. Some people are concerned though that they have been in the bottom for a few weeks, and by some people I mean Alexandra.
She should. Yeah. Oddly enough, her claims of being a lip sync assassin now would have sounded so much stronger, but then she decided to just be concerned.
They have also come true. She's one of, as we will find out later in this episode, she's one of the few queens to lip sync for their lives 3 weeks in a row and survive all 3 lip syncs and also send 3 competitors home as well, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And also
but we will get to that later.
Yes. Her third lip sync being the best so far.
And also, in classic reveal fashion for Drag Race España, late entry to the podcast.
Hey.
Because he works 6 days a week.
I work 6 days a week. It's more like 3.5, but who's counting?
Hi, Mike.
Hi. Yep, it's a resident himbo podcaster, and that's all I got today because we already started. Let's get this.
Period.
Well, we didn't dive that deep, so it's fine. It's fine. We're just next day in the work room. That's all. That's all.
I'm getting my notes.
But yes, Alexandra's concerned because she's like, I'm in the bottom. I'm in the bottom, and Nyx is like, well, girl, you have a bunch of people here willing to help you. Why aren't you letting us help you?
Mm-hmm.
I can't keep defending you. I can't keep trying to help you if you're not going to let us help you. What are we doing here? Yeah.
I don't know if y'all already said it, but Ferrxn also said she was feeling like Ornella not having a win. So that was very prescient, given the...
Obviously, given Ornella is here.
What happened? Yeah.
She's in the building.
Indeed.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, I thought it was interesting, given the fact that we haven't really seen a whole lot of like the interpersonal relationships between the queens, for Alexandra to just be like, well, I'm feeling really down. I'm feeling like I don't have anybody. And then for Nyx to be like, well, girl, you're not interacting with us. You're not letting us help you. Let us help you, girl. Like, what are we doing here?
I totally agree. It's interesting.
Coming from side. Sorry.
I was saying it was interesting because we've seen, I feel like the Cristal situation had like kind of taken all the air out of the room for like the storyline between everybody's like dynamics. And so we're getting for the first time that Alexandra kind of feels like on her own, except for Satin, except for Madre Greco. And it rubs some of the other queens the wrong way.
I thought that you were going to say that after Cristal was gone, her delusion went on to Alexandra.
I would never. I love you, Cristal.
We all love her. Cristal. It was reference to Mo Hart on All Stars 4, where she was like, delusion, America. It wasn't Valentina. Now it traveled to Latrice. Maybe somebody else would catch it.
Right. That part.
Delusion is contagious.
It sure is.
Delusion. Convince
yourself.
Shout out to Legend Jinx Monsoon.
Yes. But we get such an interesting mini challenge.
Also, in Drag Race tradition, pick crew first.
Yes.
Just these queens going absolutely feral over this man.
Yes. But we are dressing watermelons in the visages of the other competitors.
We're trying to guess who was dressed as who.
So it's
also Laca being disgusted by getting handed the watermelon. Like being absolutely despised at having to like eat this piece of watermelon to find out who she got.
Yeah, as if she was doing some Dragula extermination.
Not like she's eating brains or a raw kidney. Shout out to a Baraja.
Yeah. Definitely. I found it funny that 2 people got themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know that's a possibility, but I was like, oh, 2 people got themselves. Interesting. Okay, sure.
It was
This
just
was
funny, and I like how Supreme said, if you did get yourself, you can do a beautiful and accurate self-portrait.
Just from the get-go, anybody who would have gotten Laca would be so much more at ease because of the mustache.
I think we got a couple of funny moments, but this was a fever dream for me. This was like an absolute fever dream. I was like, what is this nonsense mini challenge? It's puppets with extra steps.
Literally, I'm like,
the
I don't know what's going on here, really.
You had, because Alexandra got Ferrxn, but Ferrxn said she made her look like Trixie Mattel, which was hilarious.
How's
Also with a
Trixie
little like
getting strays?
also with a little like random Susie Toot wig on as well. Because that's what the random like watermelon had on. You had Nyx who had Laca, who actually did a really good job, and it was actually the best of all. You had
Agreed.
Satin, who everyone immediately thought, oh, Satin got herself, but no, she got Nyx, and Nyx was slightly offended with the fact that she got the watermelon. You had Margarita, who got herself, which everyone got instantly. And it's just like this crazy. And then you had Laca, who did Alexandra, and then Ferrxn got the Satin, and everyone thought it was like Dafne, but no, she got herself. And then Dafne did this like crazy watermelon of herself, basically covering it in foundation and then adding a tutu, which made it just look worse.
It looked so bad.
It looked so bad.
The only one I got like immediately was Nyx's. So
Yeah.
And I think honestly that's why Nyx won, because Nyx's literally was the only one that I was like, oh, I know exactly. I was like, oh yeah, no.
That's
totally.
why I told what
Because
I said. What I said.
I said what I said. Like literally, I'm like, yeah, no, that's the only one that looks like who she's doing. Like, let's be real.
Whoever gets luck, yeah. And she did. No, it was pretty hilarious. After having Terry smashed the watermelon with her thighs, these weeks we're having a full-on watermelon onslaught.
But see, that watermelon did not die. It had crystallized.
and it turned into Laca Udia painted by Nyx.
Not this.
Good on Nyx. That was a well dressed watermelon.
Indeed. Indeed. But yes, we get our Maxi challenge, which is an improv challenge done in a very interesting, fun, new way. I was very excited to see how this turned out, because this is kind of the first time we've seen anything like this challenge anywhere on Drag Race. So I was really excited with how this turned out. So we have two teams of 2, one team of 3 for this real estate improv challenge. You get a briefing of the apartment that you're going to sell to a mystery person, a Drag Race alum. And you have to go in, prep a character, but that's basically all you have. And then the rest of it is just improving the rest of the scene from there. It felt so like classic improv theater for me that I was like, oh, I would so be in my element doing this. And I absolutely loved the way that they structured this challenge. Now, did all of the queens succeed? No, we'll talk about it. But I really appreciated Drag Race España going somewhere different and doing something very different with an improv challenge. So I want to applaud them for that specifically, because I thought it was such a cool way to approach an improv challenge in such a really cool way. I liked it.
Yeah, this was really unique idea. Nyx gets an advantage by winning the mini challenge, and so she chooses the teams. She decides to put herself with Margarita and Ferrxn, and then partners Satin and Alexandra, and then Laca and Dafne. And then she gets a random little box with 3 keys and hands out the keys to them. One of them having, I can't remember, each of them having like a little like emblem thing.
It was a cat, it was a skull, I think, and then the third one they really didn't know what it was. and that's the one that went to Dafne and
Laca.
It had like the Spanish
or-
flag on it or something.
yeah, that one went to
Laca
Dafne and
and
Laca.
Dafne.
Was it like a currency sign or something that they just
Maybe.
didn't notice?
I thought it was kind of
Maybe.
maybe it was like a coat of arms, which is on the flag also, but not really. Yeah, it was kind of weird because the queens themselves were confused. So
Well, I will say, I think Nyx going in knowing this is an improv challenge, I would not have picked Margarita and Ferrxn to be on my team because both of them were in the top for Snatch Game. And they were really good in their improv in that regard. We'll talk about how people did in this iteration. But just from track record, I'd be like, I do not want to be next to two people who really pop and really can steal the airtime that I need for myself in this challenge. So I was really worried for Nyx going into this.
you know what? I think about it this way because she already has been in the top for some of the improv/acting challenges, and she didn't know at the time when she was distributing whether they're going to judge like more in teams as a collective effort versus whether how she would have outshone potentially Alexandra, say, no shade. Yeah, so that's why I think from that point of view, if she thought that it's going to be like fully judged in teams, and that it's easier for her to like kind of step up to whatever Margarita is doing, because I think Nyx and Ferrxn have been kind of on the same good streak for like improv/acting challenges. So yeah, maybe she was thinking having no weak link in this regard would be better, versus if she was, let's say, paired with again like Alexandra as the glaring example. Sorry, Alexandra. And like having outshone her and having the judges said to her, "Oh my God, but you like outshone your team," but she like drowned her or something like this. So maybe it was kind of wise.
But they never judge in teams. That is so rare. It's almost always individual because
Really?
production.
I mean,
I feel like production wants to push the people they want to push, and
They did it this
teams
season.
impair that.
They did it
in
this
España,
season.
It's fair. That's fair.
It's not that rare. Also, in España too, we had like the genius also travel commercial/sex adverts where they fully judged in pairs. So maybe Nyx was. Like...
Didn't they do it on? Yeah, I was gonna say España is kind of the outlier when it comes to judging, because even on All Stars with the improv challenge, they judged in pairs as well. So like we've seen it happen. I agree with you, Mike. For the most part, when you look at the overall Drag Race zeitgeist, like it's typically not judged in pairs. But when it comes down to like by franchise, España is one of those franchises where they do tend to like if there's a team that's really, really good and if there's a team that's really not as good, they'll judge in teams. And even like earlier this season with the girl group challenge, that whole top girl group challenge was the winner because they just did so well. And sometimes they'll break it up in that regard. But regardless,
one thing. España All Stars, they judged in team for the girl group challenge. They didn't have the improv challenge. They only like comedy. They had the snatch game and then they had the roast. Sorry, it's just my brain.
Okay.
I'm a walking Drag Race encyclopedia of knowledge.
Yes. España too had actually two antecedents to this, both interesting. Which one was the Patricia Diaries improv challenge, which Benedetta won, which was judged individually, versus the top 6 advertising/sex traveling challenge, which was fully judged in pairs. So it's interesting to see that they have this like backstory in this kind of improv challenges.
I would just expect at Final 7, it's like teams. But you said Final 6, but I would just expect at this point they're just going to do it individually because they don't want to construct themselves who they can put in the bottom.
And then, do you want to talk about anything before the walkthrough?
It's just like have anything.
It's mostly just the fact that Satin. No, Alex is happy working with Satin, but she's a bit nervous that she'll get overshadowed. And then Nyx and Ferrxn, when like Margarita goes out for a second, they're a bit worried about the fact that because they put a lot of emphasis on the fact that in improv you have to listen to each other, and they were a bit nervous that Margarita wasn't going to listen to what they were doing and just do her own thing. And it's just, and then
I will say a theme that Nyx brought up that is going to be a theme for the judging was she wanted her team to listen. And I think almost everybody, I think, made the mistake of not properly listening in this challenge. We'll get to the challenge itself, but I think that was also another prescient thing that happened earlier in the episode of like, Nyx is like, I just hope that Margarita and Ferrxn can, just not over talk each other and just listen to the situation. And I think that was a mistake that we'll see a lot of queens make in this challenge.
Uh-huh.
And I can't wait to see how this turns out.
We do get out the walkthrough with our extra special guest judge, Abril Zamora, who I loved. Was not familiar with this fabulous individual beforehand. Loved every single bit of her in this challenge, and I loved her in the walkthrough here, because she gave some wonderful advice.
She was great in all 3 stages. She was great in the walkthrough, she was great during the challenge, and she was great on the runway after the critiques and between, on the critiques. So,
Absolutely.
Really cool.
Also, she is gorgeous, and this is meant as a complete compliment. She looks like Dafne Berkey.
She does. I agree with that.
And Dafne Berkey's fabulous.
Oh, absolutely fabulous, gorgeous, stunning. Yes, I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. Yeah,
I think that she.
Go ahead.
I just think that she also just gave some really good feedback to the queens about what they were planning on doing, about trying not to overcomplicate things, and of course, like listening to each other, because like if one queen, because we'll get to this challenge, but I think it would have been better as an individual one, because as we see, it gets a little bit manic. And I just think all 3 teams could have just listened to each other better and could have worked a bit better together, figuring out what to do. Because I feel like they should have come in with a bit more of a plan, because some of them did go a little bit haywire. Specifically one team, which we'll get to.
I'll also say a funny moment of Supreme joking with Laca. She was just like, oh, but what if Franco's wife comes in? And then Laca's like, you told me to get out of my comfort zone, but I can't do so if you force me to be the fascist. And I just laughed at that.
Like if you're telling me to do the thing that I'm doing again, then what are we doing here? Like, come on now.
It was a fun little.
Just as a quick side note, the life on this planet would be so much easier for everybody if people were pushed to be fascists. Not as opposed to doing it naturally, unfortunately.
I know.
Indeed.
These Americans agree.
Britain agrees as well.
Shall we talk about the challenge?
Let's
do it.
Let's do
I have a lot of notes. I made a lot.
Good. I'm excited about it. Let's go to the challenge. There we go. And I'll get rid of our beautiful QR code. LongiCreations.com link is in the description below. So we can see Alexandra's face. But the first duo up is Satin and Alexandra with our extra special guest apartment potential renter. Poopy Poison is back! Yeah!
She will always be here.
What else is so good? Yes. Never left. Especially on this dress.
Whenever they film España, she's just randomly walking around the set being like, oh, do you need me? Do you need me?
At this point, why don't they make her an executive producer? And I mean that in the most genuine. I mean that so genuinely. Like,
and the guest judge.
And the guest judge.
And the theme song performer.
Or make her like the Exorcista, but for Drag Race España for every season.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I would love that. I would love that. Oh my god, yes. That would be so good.
I think that's something that I love Dragula has that I wish Drag Race had is the Exorcisters. Yeah. Like a friendly face from a former season.
Yeah, like just bring in someone who knows the process, who's done it, who understands it, and like genuinely, I think there are maybe 2 people from España that could do it. Like if Poopy wasn't available, like Poopy would be my number 1 choice.
Sure.
If Poopy wasn't available,
Jude.
Jarigi Dirkly.
Yes.
Yes.
And if Jarigi wasn't available, Samantha Valentine's.
Yeah, I mean,
I agree,
the Exorcist
And if Samantha Valentine's wasn't available, our dear sweet Petita.
Yeah.
I think any of the above options would be great. But I think
And if
Jessica
Petita wasn't available.
Crash the idea.
anyone but Marina. Moving on.
Imagine Chloe Vito as the sweetest by Exorcist.
Oh, Chloe V2. Absolutely, Chloe V2 is my choice. Yes, I agree with that.
That just means that España has to export Exorcistas all over the franchise, all over the globe. Yeah, because
that's fine.
Well, had Jujubee is let's face it, the girl has other things to do. Even although she already has been dressed as an Exorcista. The only challenge she won on All Stars 5, because pre-reveal it was exactly the spooky look with her pumpkin from Dollar Store and whatnot.
You want some carrots?
Yeah. The Party City collection of Jujubee for her only winning challenge.
Anyway, what did we think of Satin and Alexandra?
Well,
yeah, Satin and Alexandra get this like haunted room with like a skeleton in the bed. They get cobwebs everywhere. They get an urn on like a mantelpiece, and they get a TV that flickers on and off. I think Satin did incredibly playing this like over the top gay man, and then I think Alexandra did fine, but unlike how she foreshadowed in the episode, I do think Satin did unfortunately outshine her. I have so many like random stuff like. Satin's selling a dead body on a bed as a plus, saying, "Oh, this bed is so comfy. Don't mind about that. What's on there?" The oven is broken, so it's a cold model. Like, there's just so many like, there's tuna there from 1904. Also having Drag Race on this flickering TV with actress player premium as well. It's just the craziest. Like Satin had so many little bits in this, and then also having like these black fringe trousers and these fringe jacket. This was a great performance from Satin. Alexandra did okay, but it's just like compared to what Satin did, unfortunately, she did fall to the wayside. And then like she tried to make a bit because there was an urn that Satin dropped. And so Alexandra did try to make it, because she was like this crazed looking nun, and like she tried to make a thing of like, oh papi, and did like a whole thing on the ground, but like she tried, but it's just like compared to Satin, I don't think
work.
Yes,
no,
it was awkward. It was very awkward.
Yeah, I would agree with everything RuPert said, because this was the clear case of being outshone, and the foreshadowing of outshining. Unfortunately, it wasn't the shining of Stanley Kubrick; it was the outshining of Alexandra by Satin. Also, as a side note, I wish Poopy wore this on her season, like in every metallic color, every episode. I adored this dress on her. This was like such an elevation from season 1. Satin was just you can see the difference between the person who has been like literally doing the improv versus the one who learned some canned bits. So basically, Alexandra was sugar and spicing through the situation, while Satin was doing her best Brandela. Because Alexandra started kind of strong, where she said, "I'm Benedita von Dutch as a nun." That was good, but then she literally went downhill. She wasn't like spiraling, she kind of was lost because she said, okay, I have the stuff I pre-planned. I said it, now what? And as Satin was doing more and more and more, because her brain was coming up on the fly with all this cool stuff. Maybe she did have some canned bits, but with all this like universal, that there was like canned bit joke, canned bit improv, reaction to poopy there. I turned here and I like observing everything which is in the room and milking the most out of it, even on the dead skeleton, pun intended. And also looking like this demented wannabe Balenciaga, like any fashion designer, like, you know, this caricature of fashion guru from whatever TV show. This is so much fun. So yeah, Alexandra unfortunately didn't have a leg to stand on, but she had a rope.
Yeah, I would agree. I think Satin definitely shown, I'm going to be honest, for all the groups, Satin was by far and away my favorite. I think she had a banter. She was trying to sell the unit. I think she clearly like stayed focused and was listening and bantering with Poopy much better than everybody else. I do understand Alexandra's frustration when she feels like Satin is like taking all the air out of the room, but that is Alexandra's job, to find ways to get in there and banter with Poopy as well. I think she should have rolled with what it was as soon as they learned that it was haunted. I mean, she's a nun. She could be a possessed nun. Like there's avenues that Alexandra could have gone down. And just the avenues that she did, she overacted and it didn't land. And it's okay if something doesn't land. You just got to move on with it. And I think Alexandra, once that urn incident happened, I think Alexandra was completely thrown off and was like, okay, that joke did not land. This is not working. And just kind of clammed up from that point and really couldn't find an angle to go forward with. And that's the difficulty. This is not easy because they were given so much, and I'm sure it's so much like stimulation and stimuli coming in that Alexandra just kind of got flustered and couldn't find a way out. But that's just kind of how it goes. It's not up to Satin to make sure that Alexandra is coming forward at this point, in my opinion. I'll talk more about like the group dynamic of this challenge, just design wise, because I think it's more apparent in the second group. But I think this is a challenge that's really hard to work as a group. It's more kind of like survival of the fittest. You got to advocate yourself forward, and Satin did that, and Alexandra did it, and that's just the long and short of it.
I think go ahead.
Sorry, I just feel like based on all the performances in this challenge, I feel like a lot of people just could have done a stronger job if it was individual. And you just have to like refigure this challenge a little bit and then just give them like a slightly shorter time. Because I just feel like, because in pretty much every single group, you had one person who did a pretty decent job and pretty decent or a great job. And then you just had every single other person like try to keep up with them or try to like interject little bits. And it's just for them, it just didn't work because as soon as one person says one thing, your eye goes to them. And if you have like 3 people all trying to sell a house, it just doesn't work because in real life you would never have, unless you're like realtors or like a pair and a duo, you'd only have one person going around the house with you trying to sell it. It's just, sorry Logan, I cut you off, but
no, it's okay. Most of what I would have said has already been said, so I'll just add that I think what Satin was able to do, and I agreed with the judges when they were saying, I think what Satin was able to do was really find and like ground herself in the chaos and really take advantage of what was going on around her. And I think that really is what this challenge is about, is like there are going to be so many things thrown at you. How are you able to react? How are you able to cut through all the bullshit and get to the core of the challenge, which is selling this apartment? And I feel like a lot of people went with the improv side of the challenge, which is fine, which is lovely, and ultimately kept a lot of people more safe than others. But the goal of the challenge is to sell the apartment. And for me, the only person that succeeded throughout the entire cast is Satin. Satin is the only person that really took advantage of everything she had in front of her and did such a phenomenal job with it. And I was really impressed with her throughout the whole thing.
Agreed.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we've got the trio of Ferrxn, Nyx, and Margarita with their extra special guest, Ornella Gongora! Yay!
Speak of the devil, Ferrxn.
I was so happy to see Ornella because she is one of my favorites as well. So I was so happy to see more Ornella. And Ornella, congratulations! You are the winner of this week's challenge.
Well, out of this group, she did the best.
She did.
Indeed.
Yes.
Correct. She did do the best out of this challenge.
Also, I think it was Nyx in confessional saying that if the apartment is 20 meters, Ornella's wig is 15.
Yes.
Yes.
Which I just love, especially because like all three of these queens are wearing like really tiny or like in Ferrxn's case kind of bad wigs.
Yeah.
But it's just
Yeah.
like, and also like Ornella looks stunning, and then is just surrounded by chaos.
And drag.
My favorite bit, because like Nyx, here's the thing, the person who did the best out of these three, in my opinion, was Nyx, because like she was able to almost sort of weave her way around the chaos. I think just in those first few moments when she like showed Ornella like showed her like the armchair that isn't on shot, and the fact that she was like stuck in the armchair, I was like, this is really comfortable, this is really low down, and it'll turn into a sofa bed. And then the fact that she's is then stuck in the armchair for like the next minute and has to, and Ornella is like, oh, could you ask them to like help her out? I think Nyx did.
When the guest has to tell you to do something, that's when you know you've gone wrong.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. But like Nyx did the best out of this three. And then Margarita and Ferrxn were just a bit rough.
Yeah, RuPert, you nailed many heads on the head here. First of all, yeah, when the guest says you what to do, that's Delta sign. It's almost like Naya Rivera during Good Morning Bitches. It's such a weird setting because those three queens, in theory, especially Margarita, I was like, I wouldn't say like disappointed, but I was expecting so much more of Margarita in particular because she was like slaying left and right, almost everything acting wise. And here she was kind of lost in a sense, or they were all kind of manic around Ornella, but neither of them tried to really sell the apartment. And it didn't help. They were dressed like three different teachers of the chemistry class who failed the audition.
What chemistry did you take?
Well, they're all three teachers who are trying their best in a community college.
Yes,
all
yes.
three of them have failed at life. And
It's literally that. Yeah, chemistry teachers in the community college. That was such a weird thing. None of the three characters were that flashed. Nyx was really the best because she tried to listen to Ornella during all this chaos reigning around her. And Ferrxn, I would do a Logan here. Ferrxn, you looked so beautiful on this runway. We'll get to it later. But why, oh my God, why here you look like La Shiva from Italia, who is like 1.5 times older than you? And also, just there were so many choices which were, choices. Just choices. And I don't remember any jokes, which is very telling sign because usually I'm a sucker for everything. And while Satin was basically a Rolodex of one-liners here, we know that Nyx has done the best, but...
Also, the fact that by the end of this, all three of them was basically crowding around Ornella, and Ornella was like, get me out of this place now. And also the fact that even the door opens inward. She was like, this place is cursed. Even the door opens inward. Get me out.
I'll say this trio kind of proved to me that the central design of this challenge is just flawed. If they're sitting there saying, like, we want you to sell this apartment to this special guest, a previous alumni, you need to listen to them and react to them. But I think that's nigh impossible with 3 people in the room. 2 people, that would be a challenge. 3 people, this is impossible. This was definitely the group you did not want to be in. I will applaud Nyx, and I do think Margarita in some ways. I'll get into their individual performances in a little bit, because I felt like they attempted to seize some opportunities throughout the skit. I think Nyx had the strongest moment with the chair. I liked that part. That part was funny and was engaging with Ornella. But I think after that point, Nyx kind of just faded back. I will say overall, Nyx was kind of just right through the middle, safe for me as far as everybody's performances. Margarita, I do agree that she wasn't listening a lot to what Ornella was saying. She was just kind of riffing and just kind of going on and on and on. And I did write down that acting is reacting. And especially in an improv challenge, you don't want to ruin the flow of the scene by putting in your own ideas. You want to have a rapport with who is coming through the door. And she just did not have that with Ornella. There were moments that I did laugh because Margarita is hilarious. And for that reason, I would put Margarita as my favorite of this group. But as far as like what the prompt is, I think all three fell far from me from what they should have been doing. But I will acknowledge and give them some grace and say that I don't think it was possible in this group to really succeed in a way that Satin did in the first group and have that rapport, because everybody's trying to get their spotlight and their time to shine. And it's just impossible. And for Ferrxn, it just did not happen. There was nothing. I can't remember of a single instance where Ferrxn was trying to seize that opportunity and build rapport with Ornella. Nothing just comes to mind that really stuck. Unfortunate. This group was sheer chaos. And I'm kind of more upset at the production for setting it up this way rather than the queens themselves.
Yeah, I agree with everything that's been said. I think the main factor here is just that there were too many people going on. And I think in order for one person to really have been able to shine in this group, the other two really would have just had to almost been silent and not really do much. Again, great concept for the challenge. I think everyone here did the best that they could with what they were given, and unfortunately none of them really did all that great. My favorite here was Nyx, just based on her physical comedy. Like, none of them really succeeded at selling the apartment, so I'm gonna go off of the improv. And I think of the improv that was here, I think Nyx's physical comedy was my favorite here. So
Also, just what on earth is Ferrxn wearing?
I don't know, and I don't want to know, to be honest with you.
Let's let it fade away.
Yes.
Yes, Laca's boobs are that big that I had to barely fit her into screen in order to fit all three of them onto this screen. But last up, we have Dafne and Laca with our extra special guest, Shani La Santa.
Yes. One of the best outs ever.
Also, Sunny, congratulations. You were also the best of this group as well. This was a bit crazy. I like the fact that Laca tried to play a different role, trying to play this like dumb blonde. But next to this like drunk and harassing woman that Dafne was playing, it also just went into a little bit of chaos. Also, Shani as well was also like telling them, "Oh, why don't you open all the cupboards and stuff?" And it was like, again, she was also like kind of like telling them what to do. When the briefcase full of money came out, it just went a little bit crazy. Also, for once in a Drag Race career, there was a cake and it didn't go on someone's face. So let's just be thankful for that. Because also, Shani having one of my favorite lines, because like, they had a little like tagline being like a surprise thing at the end. And then Shani said at the end was like, "Yes, the surprise is that two morons can't sell a house." They were both okay, but like they didn't work. This also didn't work. They tried.
It's very interesting because I think that the instinct to go for drunk aunt was kind of right. If it was like executed flawlessly, even if both of them were playing off of each other, like being two drunk realtors, they would have given one of the best Catherine Tate roles as a drunk estate agent, like, don't be ridiculous, I'm an estate agent. Something like this. It would be like, it would be hilarious. I mean, silent witness. He likes chrome in his kitchen. Do you know what they say about men who like chrome? Likes a bit of cock up his ass. Something like this. That would be like so hilarious. But instead, they were working against each other. That was like the problem. If group one was Satin outshining Alexandra, group two was like three penguins randomly screaming on Antarctica beach during Antarctic summer, then this one was really like two people, like the drunk against the boobs, literally against. That's my problem with it. I agree with the judges that Dafne kind of did a slightly better job, and it was a bit even surprising for me. But yeah, overall, I think Sunny had won this acting challenge by a mile because she was the most entertaining there. She was giving very much, I forgot her name, it was Samantha Hudson, who was the contestant of season 1 Snatch Game on España. I think it was Samantha Hudson of the two drag queens who were there. And yeah, she was so hilarious. Laca was so trying to Jimbo her way through that she was basically thinking, okay, I've got a breastplate and I'm going to crush everybody, but sweetie, you're not cocaine. It's not like the bimbo jumping with the breasts killing like wrestling challenge. And that's what she was kind of trying to do. Yeah, to push it through. And yeah, the jokes kind of became pretty still pretty fast, and also nobody, just like in the group 2, unfortunately nobody finally sold this flat.
I'm gonna have a little bit of a different take. I do agree. I think Shani was the best of the 3 in this skit. I'm very kind of upset with Dafne in this case. I think that she was way too aggressive. There was zero rapport with Shani. It was worse. What I said about like Margarita is like not listening to Ornella. I think it's like times 100 with Daphne's character with Shani. I think if Dafne was going for like this overly lascivious, like kind of like really into Shani and stuff like that, I think there's a way to go about that and trying to woo the customer. But I think that this was way too aggressive. It gave me the ick that she actually touched Shani in her private area. And this is an improv challenge. I know that they did not know Shani was there. And so this is the first time that they're interacting with her. So like, I don't think that there was this time to be like, hey, can I touch you there? And this is a bit of like, Daphne's young. So, you know, there's room for like grace and everything. I'm not saying like, oh my gosh, what a horrible person. She's 20. Like give her a break in this regard. Like, you know, but that's what kind of comes up to me. And I think for me, Daphne's impersonation, like her performance, was a bit offensive to me. It made me feel uncomfortable. And that's something you never really want to do. I will say Laca's performance was also lackluster. I think there was more that Laca could have done.
Was it Laca Luster?
It was Laca Luster. I do like that she was trying to go for a different character than Laca has done before. I think there were opportunities given to them that could have been that honestly I think were served to them on a platter. They got a suitcase full of money and then they wanted to keep it. And I'm like, both of them wanted to keep it. And then they were antagonistic with Shani. I was like, bribe your customer. Like, seriously, you have this money here and be like, hey, we need, like, we'll look the other way. Like, there's so many opportunities given to them on a silver platter that I feel like they did not seize the opportunity. For me, para mí, Laca was the better of the two. I think Daphne's just she was not selling. Her improv was kind of eating over the rapport with Shani, which was defeating the point of the challenge. I think it fell far short for me. Laca, the lackluster, it was at least, I think, passable. It was fine for me. And that's just where I stand with it. Yeah, I think there were so many missed opportunities with this group as well.
Yeah, Mike, listening to you, I do think, listening to that and hearing your perspective, I do actually think Dafne should have been low for this challenge. because based on like I said, looking back at it, it was uncomfortable to watch, and it was not great. I mean, she's a year older than me, which is weird to think about, but like this wasn't the best thing in the world. And I do think, I do agree she should have been low. I do think Laca should have been safe. Not because she did spectacularly, but because out of the group, at least it wasn't like uncomfortable and a little bit difficult to watch.
Mm-hmm. And I want to reiterate, like, Dafne is young. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay that some things don't land. Just learn from it and move on. It's totally okay. I mean, look at other queens like Utica. Utica, that really didn't land, but you learn and you move on.
What a
And
great roast,
everybody,
though. Come on. I rewatch it religiously every month. It's such a great roast.
Exactly that.
It's so funny. I'm sorry. I thought you could speak whale.
And Utica is a legend. People love her. She's beloved. People don't hate her for that. People are like, you had a bad day, and that's it. So
Mike, having said that, I would agree with you to an extent. I still would like slightly a devil's advocate. I think the judges were like thinking, if both of them weren't that funny, it's better to like kind of overdo than underdo. And in this regard, I can see why they thought that Dafne was stronger than Laca, because that was like on my first watch, that was kind of my thought process. Well, yeah, it was kind of like aggressive and uncomfortable, but at least she was like trying to do the most. Well, Laca was kind of, I've got a great breastplate. I'm going to squash you with my boobs. Ooh, we have a cake. We'll do nothing with it. So, yeah.
That's fair.
I think Dafne should have been in the bottom too. I agree with you 100%, Mike. I did not like a single thing Dafne did. I agree with you. She's young, but also she is young and she should know better, frankly. I did not like a single thing Dafne did in this challenge. I thought the character, she was in character the whole time, and the character was gross. The character was not well thought out, and I was very uncomfortable watching the whole thing. So I would have had Dafne in the bottom lip syncing for her life to this song, in this challenge. Now, obviously, the twist happened, whatever the twist would have been. But I thought Laca did a great job here, to be honest with you. I thought Laca did much better than Dafne did in this challenge. I didn't understand the judging whatsoever when it came to these two, to be 100% frank with you. And it's nothing against Dafne. I think she's lovely. I've loved so much of what she's done this season. I just think this portrayal was not it whatsoever. I really was not a fan of what she did here. So that's all. But we get our getting ready for the runway segment, and everyone's sharing their, mementos from home. Love it.
This was a very heartwarming segment.
It was very heartwarming. It's also very lovely to see, because I think the most important aspect of Drag Race, especially to me personally, isn't the runway or the challenge or anything. It's about learning their stories and seeing how they are as people outside of the drag. I mean, that's the biggest thing that connected me to Drag Race, and it's such an important thing. And I love the fact that they were all able to show a little bit from them, like showing pictures. Also, Nyx being brave enough to show pictures of them before they started transitioning as well. Also, like her picture as CFM, or Certain Famous Mouse, as well. It's just really cute. And then just like showing all the mementos, all the lovely letters as well, because it's just something that it's just such a wonderful thing that also they put into this season, because it makes you realize that these are real people. Yes, they are being highly edited, because this episode probably took about 48 hours in total, or longer or shorter, we don't know, but they've edited it down to just over an hour. And so having this time to show pictures and show that they are real people is just so nice to see, because remember, they are real people. This is a highly edited version of them. Don't send hate. It's just
No reason to send hate whatsoever. It's like it's a very good display, and yeah, we knew about Margarita, and like she becoming very emotional about her connections was so lovely. But yeah, everybody came very human after this. Even Alexandra. Just kidding. I mean, she was also. I just I mean, we didn't have that much probably of the insight into her, and it was so lovely to see that. And Nick's absolutely agree with you, but it was like pretty unique and brave to share this and interesting like this insight. And also Dafne finally, because with Dafne, somebody of us of the panel complained that we didn't get to know her beforehand, and here finally she comes with her mom's album, and yes, talking about her mom. I forgot who it was, Ferrxn or Laca, who was shaded after say, "Oh, good, look, a mom and a twink from Grindr." I forgot who of the two was it in connection to Dafne's album, but it was very, very fun and overall very heartwarming.
They were rotted for saying that. This was a very heartwarming segment. I love that we get a humanizing moment for everybody. I kind of wish we got that for the entire cast, but that's just me. I will say something that really stuck to me, and it's been on every episode this season, but it's really kind of, was like came home for me. The cows came home for me on this idea. Nyx was talking more about her trans experience. And I just love how vulnerable she has been this season with her experience. It is a very difficult thing to come forward with on national, international TV. And she has been so strong and very courageous, vulnerable, but strong. There's strength in that vulnerability that she has given us this season. And it has been lovely. That's something that I was just making a note of when she was talking about her experience and her family, and just kind of really sad about how a lot of trans people and their families, it's a very difficult situation. And it needs to be reiterated 1,000 times over, because that particularly is the part of the queer community that is being attacked the most these days. And they need that support. They need these stories out there that these are real people. You need to humanize these people because they're being attacked all over the world. Sadly, and humanizing, putting light to who these people are and their experiences is the best way to combat that. So I commend Nyx for being so vulnerable and being so open with her story with us this season.
And I appreciated too the fact that she shared her photos of herself pre-transition with the other queens, but we didn't see it. Like, they didn't broadcast it to the audience. And that is something that it's one of those small things that I will always appreciate Drag Race España for, is like, we don't need to see that, but I'm glad that she was able to share that with her sisters. And I'm glad that she was able to have that moment with her sisters. And we were able to see that moment without seeing into that personal moment. And I really did appreciate that. Nyx has been someone that I've loved throughout this whole season, just for how beautifully resilient she's been for representing the trans community so beautifully.
Yeah, and the fact that of all like the young photos, the only one we truly got a shot of was like her dressed up in the certain famous mouse costume, or just as a mouse as well. And it's nice. It's because Drag Race has never had Drag Race for the longest time didn't allow trans women, or thought that being trans on Drag Race was an unfair advantage, or to queens who had already started their transition, such as Peppermint and Jiggly on earlier US seasons, them saying for them to not talk about it, or for it to not be brought up, and then for them to stop taking their medications while the season is airing. It's so nice that now we are seeing such open trans women and also trans men as well, just on Drag Race, and being proud and wanting to show and reveal their stories. As a person who has had a very long and questioning journey about my gender identity that is still going on, it's nice to see, because I found the gay community through Drag Race and through people's connections, because because a lot of my childhood, I didn't know anything until I saw Drag Race, and that's why I find it so important, and it's so wonderful to see and hear all these stories and see people who are going through this and still fighting and showing resilience. So love you, Nex. We love you.
Yes. Yes. Oh, yes. And with that being said, I think we should go to the runway. Runway. I don't know what party these 5 are going to, but I would be intrigued to find out.
Yes, indeed. It's a very interesting lineup.
Abril showing them all up, honestly.
And Anna. I
love her outfit. I don't like her hair this week.
Oh, that's
No.
fair.
Her hair looks like 2 different pieces.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like 2 different wigs.
And while we're talking about hair, Supreme, what is this?
What is?
Yes, the hair is crazy. It's like the skunk flew into Cynthiia Lauper somewhere on the highway. But can I say something very brave? Very, very brave. It's gonna be very vulnerable moment for me. I think this is the most beautiful dress on Supreme I've seen this entire season.
I will agree with you on that.
It's one of her better
I
ones.
like-
I would
One of our
agree.
better ones, yeah.
I hate
like
the
this
wig,
look.
though.
Yeah. Like, scalp down, beautiful. Scalp up, heinous.
It's like it doesn't
It's
know
like-
what it wants to be. It's like punk, and
Exactly.
then it's like classic in the back.
But, like, I love this look. It also fits, like, really on brand to what the promo theme was, which is, like, black with pops of neon. And I love the fact that she's got, like, stripes. She's got diagonal stripes, and she's got spots in the 2 different tones. It also, like, works for the All-Stars 6 runway clash of the patterns.
Mm-hmm.
And then also our guest judge doing, like, a cute little, like, Sailor Moon look as well is really adorable. And then...
Yeah.
And then Javi Ambrosi just standing there like a kid on his first day of school.
Física or química?
Neither.
Neither. Because Calvo is so overdressed, he looks like that he was singing Funeral March with Satin at the beginning. of this episode.
Yes. Agreed. Let's talk about our runway. Category is Baraja Española. Spanish playing cards. Love the category. We will talk in full about these looks over on Look Over Here, so make sure to check that out. But let's teabag these beautiful, fabulous looks, starting with Madre Satin Greco. Mike, let's start with you.
Oh my gosh, Mother! I did not know she could get more gorgeous. This is piping hot tea for me. I have to look back over her dresses because I don't know. This might be my favorite thing she's worn all season long. I think it is so gorgeous. I think the shine, the colors, just how she is showing it on the runway. Everything I loved about this. Piping hot tea. I'd say chai tea grande. There we go.
Ooh.
Micha.
Oh, well, yeah, I thought we were going to go this way. Okay. Sorry. This is, one of the hottest teas for me as well. I'm like probably just one smallish step from giving it a full chai tea grande. I think it's my second favorite Satin's look the entire season. It's gorgeous. It's great. The hair is fantastic. Everything. I'm just, she did explain something in the voiceover. I still didn't get exactly the category, even as wide as it is. But like, it's more, if it's going more jackpot, then yeah, sure. Because some queens went there, and Baraja is kind of like, well, as far as I understood, I read the rules of the game afterwards, that you collect something like jokers and aces, and yeah, that's a pretty cool thing. So yeah, it's a very hot tea for me.
I'm giving this a chai tea grande. I love this look on Satin. I think it's absolutely stunning. Satin is, of course, a maximalist, but this is Maxist. Max. I don't know what the word is, but she's done it very well. My one thing is like the way that the sash is sitting. It's just either because it's in a weird spot that just looks weird. Because you have this corset that's covered in these coins, and it stops. You have a little line of light, then you have the band, and then you have the rest of the dress. It's just a bit weird, but then I also love the fact that she has like all of the card, because I think she said she was doing like the ace of coins or something. And I love the fact that she's got like all of that card on the back of her dress. Also, I think she said it's printed with her face as well, but I couldn't see the detail. But she looks stunning. Great look, Satin.
It's tea for me. I love this. I think she looks absolutely incredible. Yeah, absolutely incredible. Tea. Alexandra de Raval.
Honestly, this is my favorite thing Alexandra's worn all season long. This is stunning. This is also piping hot tea for me. I love the silhouette. I love the headpiece. I love the crown. I love the little behind the headpiece. I'm forgetting the word now, but this was great. She looks great. The prop gun actually worked. I feel like money guns never work on the main stage, and it worked here. So props to Alexandra for getting a money gun to work on the main stage. This is piping hot tea for me. Loved it.
Yay! The best thing visual the entire season. Love her. I mean, love this look for her. Especially, I think after what Alexandra has won before, it's just it's so good. This is giving rich opulence, the money, the everything, the coins, and even the danger of the weaponry. Because one of the meanings of Baraja is also like this old-fashioned word for street fight. So I mean, it's kind of cool. It checks all the boxes. I'm giving this Chai Tea Grande for the first time for Alexandra.
I'm giving this a T. It's very close to Chai Tea Grande. It's just my issue is the high-low skirt. I wish the skirt. I wish it was either wish you either took off the back or like the angle in which it came down, because it's very of a 90-degree angle in which like the skirt is like covered by like the pannier or the structure that's underneath it, and then just have this back piece which is straight just attached to the bottom. I wish it had more of an angle and joined up better. But that's my one complaint with this look. This look is stunning. Great job, Alexandra. Her best look all season.
It's piping hot tea for me. I absolutely love this. I think she looks absolutely stunning. Stunning. And it's my favorite thing she's worn this season as well. I agree. Next.
I'll start off by saying I do like the storytelling of this look that Nyx brought. I thought it was very interesting and fun. That being said, I think the sort of spray painted graffiti aesthetic did not work for me. It made the outfit seem very messy, and in a way that messy is fine, but that style I don't think works here for me. That's just para me. It's going to be a slight bag for me. I do like how she sold the outfit, but the overall aesthetic of, the dress itself, I love the silhouette. It's just, it feels messy, and it is how it's, spray painted and how it's presented. So it's a slight bag for me.
For me, it's still a lukewarm tea, like, a tepid tea. I don't mind this aesthetic. I think if she hadn't had this graffiti paintings done, it would have read more difficultly as like cards related. And I'm not mad at this at all. I love the whole story with all the daggers in her back. That's also very, very good for Baraja Runway. Her face looks stunning and gorgeous as usual. I just my issue is kind of more with the silhouette. Because I'm not sure that this like gigantic poof, almost giving like a drum snare on her hands, worked very well with the form of the dress, with the shape of the dress itself, and that's kind of my probably main beef with this look is, but still it's tepid tea.
I'm giving her a T. I love this look. I love the fact that instead of doing an homage to one of the cards, she decided to do like the print on the back of a card. I love the fact that she went there. I do love the fact that it is very like stiff and structured, especially on the top of it to make it look like a card. I love this like white and then this like pink red on her. She looks stunning in this look. I really like it.
It's gonna be a warm tea for me. I think the spray painting effect could have been done a little bit cleaner, but I do like that it differentiates her from everybody else on the runway. So I do really appreciate that, and I appreciate that she brought it into the wig as well. And she sold it. So for me, it's gonna be a warm tea. Margarita.
I like the aesthetic that Margarita is going for here. I think this is one of her more successful looks of the season. I'm going to give it a slight T. My main issue is that I feel like I guess it's the fit issues. There's some fit issues on the body for me. There's a bit of a disconnect with the boots as well. I do like the color scheme of it. It fits exactly the cards that she is imitating. I guess the wig isn't the best fit for me either. I guess it could have been done differently, but it's going to be slight T for me. I still am on the positive side. I think this is one of Margarita's better looks, and I know we've been really critical of her this season, so I think this was a success for me for Margarita.
Mm-hmm. I really enjoy this look, although it does kind of feel a bit, a bit. Not even. I hate this word like customary or there is something slightly clumsy about this look, probably in the feet and kind of maybe the feet or because the colors are so heavily clashing with one another, it kind of gives you maybe the illusion of fit issues even when they are not there. But on the other hand, I love this color combo and the fact they're clashing so hard. So I'm actually in between with this. So I'm giving this a T still.
I'm gonna give Margarita a T. I like this look. I like that it's bold and bright. I love the fact that she's used pretty much all the primary colors. I just think it's the fact that she's got like these green trousers, and there is a little bit of fit issue around the crotch. If those trousers had been like the yellow, the blue, or the red, because otherwise she's wearing like complete of like all the primary colors, and I think like the green of the trousers just adds something that's a bit strange. I love like the spikes on like her back / sleeves. That's a really cute detail. I like this look. The hair is a bit funky, but this is a good look on Margarita.
I think this sets her apart from everyone else for the most part, and in that I really appreciate it. It's T. I do think it's one of her more successful looks this season, so I do really appreciate that. It's clean, it's well done. Yeah. T.
Also, she name dropped Moto Mommy, which I love.
Yeah.
Love that. Love that. Ferrxn.
I love this idea that Ferrxn brought here, and I love the concept of this look. However, for me, the look, I think it has some weird shape issues for me. I think if you're going to go with this sort of silhouette and shape, I think maybe go a bit more campy or just kind of, I don't know. I don't think the way it's sold is not working for me. I'm going to give this a bag, but I think it's the execution and not necessarily the idea.
Ooh. I'm gonna very heavily disagree with this. I was like, and she went home with this. I went to her Instagram page after the episode. I still can't get enough of this look. I'm just like, yeah, I want to eat it like PBJ. It's so cool. This is the complete opposite jack of what Margarita has done, and though both went completely different directions, I think this is stunning for Ferrxn. I just can't get enough of the silhouette, all this porcelain work. This is like, oh, yeah, it's a chatty grande for me, actually.
I'm gonna give this look a T. I really do. I like it. As we'll hear as Anna Locking said in critique, she probably needed to borrow a necra from Denebula. But my biggest thing is like she's doing like an Elizabethan style men's look. My thing is like the poof of like the shorts. I feel like if it was a different fabric, it would have worked better. If it was just a plain blue, or a plain white, I feel like it would have worked better because it is giving her a little bit of a weird shape, especially with all of like the pattern of the fabric. It does blend in. It is giving her a little bit of like a weird. It does look a little bit like a cartoony shape. It's just that's the one thing. Is like if that was in like a different fabric or color, I feel like this would have been a slightly more successful look. But this is a really cool idea. I love the fact that she has gone for a more historical route. I really like this look, so good job, Ferrxn.
I think it's tea. I really enjoy this. It's different for Ferrxn, and I appreciate her bringing something masculine onto this runway. There are some things that could have been different, but I really like the silhouette that she created here. Some things could have been tweaked, but I do like it overall. Laca.
I'm going to give this look a T. I actually really, really enjoy it. I think if there's any critique that I could give for it is I love the gigantic feather. That was very campy, but the rest of the outfit, specifically like the cape, that could have been so much larger. Everything could have been so much larger and more grand. Poofier little elbow area, the little poofs could have been bigger. If she's going to go for this camp look, then like go all out and make it just so over the top and crazy. I think that's what the feather is kind of hinting at, but everything else, it's just the feather. So it's giving this sort of tone to the look that the rest of the look just isn't bringing for me. I do think when I saw more of the details of the look, I started to like it more, especially from the waist down. I really like all the details in this outfit. I really do like it. I'm giving it a T. I just think Laca could have just gone so much farther with this look for me.
It's interesting to see that all this, like the card orders, most of them chose Jax, and this is pretty successful actually. She belongs kind of to the same family as Margarita does, but maybe done it in a more tailored and fashion-forward way, and also the way she sold the hell out of this coin/mirror/fan, which is pretty cool. Given that, if I'm not mistaken, like Spanish cards, coins are basically what diamonds are and the rest. I just enjoy it very much, and it's pretty hearty for me. One of the better looks.
I'm giving this a T as well. I love the color blocking of this. I love the fact that she has gone for the red and the yellow and like the tights and stockings, and then this blue bodysuit, and then having this green cape as well does look really good. I do like, as Mike said, the poofs could have been a bit bigger, and then I feel like she performed this look well, but I feel like she just could have brought a little bit more to this look, and I feel like that would have helped her a bit more. But I do love this look. I do love Laca. Solid job.
I am going to disagree. It's a slight bag for me. I just think it's slightly ill-fitting. I think, the detail work is good here, but I'm missing something. The presentation was kind of weird. This is giving me a bit more costume than it is drag. And I think that's the differential here for me. I think Laca looks good. But it's giving more theater costume than drag look for me. Which, speaking of, shout out to Drag Looks for all of these collages. Make sure to check them out. Link in the description below. And last up, Dafne Mugler.
I think Dafne looks incredible here. That being said, I think this kind of look and this sort of silhouette, I feel we have seen quite a lot on Drag Race. I understand Drag Race has been around forever. It was there when the Declaration of Independence was signed. So we've had a billion seasons since then and a lot of looks. So it's really hard at this point to come up with something unique and different. This, like the main, like silver, like warrior with the swords, it's something that I feel like we have seen a lot on Drag Race. And so that's where I knocked the look for me. I do like the sword back piece. I think that was really nice, and it added a layer and a dimension that's different. But the rest of the outfit, I mean, you could copy and you could paste this into a lot of different runways that we've seen before, and it's relatively the same aesthetic for me. She still looks really good in it, but I'm going to give it the coldest, tepidest of teas because she looks amazing. But as far as like a unique look, this just wasn't it for me.
Oh, Daphne is so pikey here, literally. She's all pikes, all swords, and for the first time in the cup history, I'm going to give Daphne a bag, despite all this. I didn't enjoy this look, nor related to the theme. I get what she was going for. I get what she was going for in the voiceover. I think this Stegosaurus head pike piece behind her back looks cool. But it's just kind of not enough at this point in time. Sorry, like we're at the top 7, and especially compared to everybody else on the runway, yeah, she kind of stood out, but I'm not sure for the right reasons, so it's gonna be a slide back for me. Though she looks cool.
I'm gonna give this a bag. I feel like this look is a bit generic, and also listening to her runway, she was like very generic in describing this look and how it relates to this theme. I do think it is cool. I do think she looks great in it. It's just this look doesn't fit the theme for me personally, and she didn't describe in how it fits the theme. It is cool. She does look nice.
It's gonna be a bag for me. She looks good, but for the theme, it doesn't really fit. It doesn't fit her perfectly either. I appreciate that she made it, so I will give her props for that. But overall, it's not my favorite thing Daphne's worn in a season of great looks for Daphne. It's just not my favorite. So we get judging, we get Untucked, we get all the lovely, wonderful, fantastic things. It was fairly standard, straightforward. Drink every time Alexandra reminds us that she works 6 days a week in Barcelona.
This was her
Also,
farewell
Satin.
speech.
Again.
Also, just Satin earlier in the episode saying that when the challenge came out, that she'd been doing this that she'd been doing improv for 21 years, 4 days a week as well.
now we're counting days. I mean, this all remind me very much of you twirled and swirled in New York City. I'm so sorry, but yeah. Oh, you twirled and swirled in Barcelona, and you're twirling and swirling 6 days a week.
Also, I'm sorry, like, no shade, no tea, I love you, Ferrxn, but she said she was, quote, too polished. Come on.
Well, Julie.
Well, she might be too polished for, I don't know, season 1 of Belgique. But otherwise, I mean, it's kind of...
Ferrxn, I love you, but that was a bit of a delusion moment. Like,
I mean, this Untucked, yeah, that's why I thought, Mike, you were saying that Crystal's delusion just went to everybody else and fully asset instead of fully adieu. Like, yeah.
I'm surprised that Alexandra was going through her spiel again and didn't realize everybody around her who was just kind of rolling their eyes while she was doing her farewell speech, her swan song. I'm leaving, y'all, and then she doesn't leave. Spoiler alert.
but you see, like she's telegraphing the joke even further away than other people have been doing this on Drag Race. You know, she's just the queen of premonition, because she said she was going to be Lipsync assassin after Lipsync 1, which was let's put it mildly very, very brave of hers. Now she's like telegraphing her departure, which is not that imminent as she's telegraphing. So
well, now she is a lip sync assassin. Well, we'll get to it.
Now
but...
she is. Yeah, that's why I was saying that. But she said that she was assassin after her first lip sync. That's why we were gagging. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anything else from Untucked? Because I don't have anything else from Untucked, really.
No, there were some shady edits from production, though.
Production is just shady. What else is new? I'm not surprised by that in the slightest. But we come back to the stage. the announcement of people was weird. So in my mind, there was a top 2, and it was Nyx and Satin.
In my notes, I was like, it should just been like a la Deja Sky in season 14, just been like, Satin, you won.
Yeah.
Let's just get to the bottoms. Let's just talk about who was in the bottom.
That's what we got, actually.
But
Kinda.
Nyx's critiques were so good that I was like, so for me, para mí, I'm giving her a high placement. That's how I'm operating. That's what I'm doing. So that's how I'm gonna do it. But nobody else was gonna win other than Madre. Let's be real, honest, and genuine here on the pod today.
And deserved, honestly.
Oh, 100% deserved for sure.
And she's our first queen with 2 wins, by the way. Yeah.
Is she really?
Is she?
Yeah, she is.
Yes, she is, because we only had 1 winner each episode, which was so good. That's why the season is like so dynamic.
All right. Okay then. Go Satin. Love Satin.
Love Satin.
Love Satin. We then get Nyx, Margarita, and Dafne for some fucking reason. Called safe. And our bottom 3 is Alexandra, Ferrxn, and Laca for some fucking reason.
I would have pulled Laca out and put Dafne down there.
I agree.
And then that's my bottom 3.
I agree. 100%.
Maybe.
But we get Denebula's heart pick. She does decide to give her heart to Gadia. I wasn't surprised.
Ferrxn was surprised though in the confessional. Ferrxn was
surprised.
Ferrxn was shy to them.
I thought it was either gonna go to Gadia or Ferrxn. It was one of those 2 in my mind, at least. I thought it could have been Nyx as well, and those were the 3 that they were kind of telegraphing to us. I was like, I based on what we know, I thought it was going to be one of those 3 people. But she does pick Gadia, and for the first time this season, someone saves themselves with a full heart. It took 7 episodes.
It is so
Satin.
good. I'm not mad at this at all. This is so refreshing.
Satin, I'm looking at you.
Cool. This is good.
Satin, I'm looking at you, Satin.
But here's the thing: if Satin had chosen to save herself, we wouldn't have gotten one of the best lip syncs of the year so far, which I still watch basically every single day.
And
look at her now.
Home that episode, so
Yeah.
you know, Ferrxn got 4 extra episodes thanks to Satin.
And Satin is the front runner now.
Yeah, and Ferrxn got to leave her on Elia Gongora fantasy for so much longer.
Exactly. So Gadia saves herself because of course she does. Because she's not Satin. And we end up with Ferrxn and Alexandra in the bottom, lip syncing to this wild ass named song by La Via Rusa. A great song. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I was gagged and gooped and betriveled because I'm watching. So let me set the scene. I'm watching this lip sync with my chai, not Tea Grande, just my chai, with my roommate. Shout out to Chai Tea Grande though. I'm watching it with my chai, and we're watching the lip sync, and we're going on, and I'm like watching, and it's a great lip sync. Let me make that very clear from the start. Both of them killed this lip sync. I thought this was a gorgeous lip sync, wonderful, so funny, so campy. Love them both. But I'm like, okay, no, I think Ferrxn's got this for me. Ferrxn's done just enough. I really liked what Ferrxn was doing. Alexandra won?
Really?
My jaw was literally on the ground for all of Ferrxn's exit. Because I genuinely was like, what the fuck do you mean Alexandra won this lip sync? And that's no disrespect to Alexandra. But I genuinely was like, I thought Ferrxn did better in this lip sync. That's just my personal taste, and I'll get to why here in a second. But B, track record alone, which apparently we don't give a fuck about on Drag Race España anymore. Track record alone, Ferrxn has a significantly better track record than Alexandra does. So for me, it was one of those, oh, well, it's Alexandra's time. They've telegraphed it throughout this whole episode. This, that, and the third. Am I happy Alexandra is still here? Yes, I love Alexandra. She's one of my favorites this season. But I genuinely was a little bit like, because for me, I preferred what Ferrxn was doing in this thing because it was very, it was a little bit more of a stripped back performance. It was, I liked the little bits and pieces she was doing throughout the song. I thought she really dug into the camp of the song, and I felt like Alexandra was doing too much.
I will come to Alexandra's defense here.
That's fine.
I thought it was hilarious from the very first second when she pulled sunglasses out of her snatch. I was like, that's hilarious. I'm here for this. She pulled out a picture of La Niña del Antro. And
La Niña. Shout out to La Niña.
Shout out to La Niña. That was iconic. I will give Ferrxn her flowers. This was a really great lip sync from both of them. I was impressed. There was like a rap at the beginning that was pretty complicated, a lot of words, very fast. And both of them, the lips were perfect. The lips were perfect from both of them, which thank you. Like we've had some like lip sync knowing the lyrics issues. Not in this yeah. Not in really this franchise specifically, but like across the franchises. So that's well done. And I think Alexandra just owned the stage. I was amazed how much she was able to move in her outfit. The outfit looked very constricting, but guess not, because she was jumping up and down. She had a lot of movement to her performance. And that surprised me because I did not expect that when I saw her runway.
No, RuPert, go ahead. I have lots of thoughts. No, sorry. First of all, I love this.
This is your
song.
moment. Have it.
Have it. I love this song so much. Now you know that I'm no stranger to shading Alexandra to filth here. And I was rooting for Ferrxn so much. I mean, Ferrxn is my girl. She made all her exit in Valencia and Catalan. I mean, she melted my heart even further. I was so rooting for Ferrxn. So much. That said, I think this is Alexandra's best lip sync of her three. This is what literally cemented her as a lip sync assassin for me. I agree with Mike. She was hilarious from beginning to the end. And this song is so stupidly camp and high energy at the same time that it kind of, I wouldn't say like begets, but it totally validates what Alexandra was doing. Because for this song, too much is kind of not, sometimes not enough, because this song is too much in itself. Lyric-wise, it's super campy, it's super stupid. It's so like, it's even really even hard to compare with other like performers in that vein. Because the song is it's just like so still stupid and campy, and it tells a story and it tells it so hilariously. I loved everything that Ferrxn has been doing. Don't get me wrong, if they had room for a double save, that would be great. I agree totally. They went completely different routes, and both routes were valid. But just because, Alexandra was making judges laugh at every single turn of what she was doing, at no point she became like Mini Cooper in the Dance in the Dark when it was like too much to almost the cringe degree. This was too much exactly from what this song was asking for, because it's like that campy and stupid and like all this like interpersonal stuff that sung in such a campy and fun way that, all the props worked for her. So with a very heavy heart. I like Alexandra, don't get me wrong, but I think she won this lip sync hands down, and I was so sad, especially in the second part, because I was seeing the writing on the wall scene. No, Ferrxn is like plasma to my hair. I'm so sorry.
This lip sync was very close. I do think Alexandra did win because she did have like the little. I do think that the little like props that she got out with like the photo of La Niña and the sunglasses, I do think did help her. She did move very well. I will say Ferrxn did very well. I will say Ferrxn did put up a very good fight. Ferrxn, in my opinion, put up the best fight of the three that she's gone against. But I do think Alexandra did win. Also, curse you, Micha, for reminding me of that lip sync. And just Hannah Conda's confessional being like, this lip sync makes me feel like I'm on drugs. Because that Dance in the Dark lip sync was insane.
Not too much on Mini Cooper.
We love her. The legend that
I'm not convinced you do.
No, I don't mean it.
Right. We lose Ferrxn. No.
I was so confused. And the entire what a freaking icon. She did say, I know this is like kind of for non like people from like this Spanish / linguistic continuum. What an icon to say all her speech in Catalan. I mean, it's so cool. I mean, she's and writing on the mirror, by the way, as well. So yeah, what an icon. And going away in her best look. Oh. Yeah. Right. Text me, Ferrxn. Write me on Instagram. Just.
Anyway, love you, Ferrxn. I'm disappointed. I wanted more for Ferrxn, but hey, that's how the cookie crumbles. Very quick draft update as Lana is now down to one person. She's got a Nix and a Dream. Somehow I still have 3 draft team members. I'm not sure how, but I still do. Lana's in third on 62.5, River in second on 66.5, and I'm leading with 73. Woo.
And next week they're doing the roast.
Because what do you mean they eliminated Ferrxn right before the roast?
Of course they did.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't take a village to think that Alexandra's premonition might fulfill herself next week. So sorry.
I would have loved to see Ferrxn roast. That would have been hilarious.
She would have won, and they didn't want her to win another challenge, so that's why they sent her home.
Because also then she would have made it to final 5, and she would have been one challenge away from making the finale.
Yeah,
and they didn't want that.
No,
heavens no.
I mean, the next challenge is probably the next one after the roast is probably going to be a makeover anyway. So I'm sure they'd find a BS reason to eliminate her anyway. But why not just eliminate her now?
But with all that being said, thank you so much for joining us for this lovely episode 7 recap of Drag Race España. We'll be back with our Look Over Here episodes, so make sure to tune in for that. And in the meantime, check out all the other coverage we are doing here on this channel and across all of the Cup Network. Subscribe, like, and share on your way out. Hit the notification bell so you know when we put out all of our content. Go get your cup mug at lanagcreations.etsy.com. There's the QR code right back where it should be. And with all that being said, we are going to go ahead and get out of here. So, adios. Cheers, y'all. Bye-bye.